Hello everybody and welcome back to a biannual episode in Wizard101. Currently, my balance wizard here has some good gear. He's got the Rattlebones robes and the Malistaire boots, but he's still got the Waterworks hat. And Balance is one of the schools who gets a better hat from the Krokopatra Exalted duel than from the Malistaire's than from Darkmoor, Malistaire's dungeon. So I thought I'd produce a little guide for those of us who also want to farm Krokopatra Exalted duels. And I'll show you first how to get the things, and then second what the cheats are and how to do the battle basically. But that's about it. So let's get started with the guide. Now, for the dungeon here, you're going to have to go through and defeat Krokopatra at the end. And for the dungeon, you don't need a lot of stuff, but I would put in a couple a couple backup treasure cards in case they in the dungeon do anything unexpected and you run out of cards. This way you don't have to flee. By the way, I made these treasure cards here with enchantment treasure cards that are really cheap from the Bazaar, and just just my normal spells. So, the first thing you're going to be doing is going through this dungeon, and I have Boots of the Comet, so I'm going to put those on for appropriate opportunities. That'll boost my speed up, I think. Well, it should, at least. And you go through over here, talk to the guy who shouts at you about the about aptitude and strength, and as soon as you reach him, then you go left through this thing and switch back.
To try the test of
Strength.
See if you can defeat the son of storms.
Alright. So what I've done is I've got my Sandstorm ready, and other schools will have different cards for this, but Sandstorm is quick. It'll wipe out all the bosses with an enchantment. And the first one is this ghosty guy. Then you just keep going, and you can grab some resources on the way if you want. I don't really need them, so I'm not going to, because I just want to farm this as quickly as possible. And the second guy is this mummy. Doesn't really matter, but you'll just wipe him out with one hit, ideally. Now, I don't have a perfect power pip chance, so that's not an issue with these 4-pip spells, really. But it might be an issue with the boss, since I need the 5 pips to wipe her out on the first turn. So that might cause a small delay, but it's not a big problem. Anyway, this is the Son of Storms, last guy in this set of bosses. You're gonna just wipe him out the same way you wipe the other ones out, and then you'll step on that teleporter back there. And once you're here, go back to Shouty Dude, turn right, and intelligence as well as strength.
Think you're clever enough? Then step onto the teleporter at my left and try the test of aptitude.
Alright, so this test, you just light up the living things. I like going around in a pattern like this. And then you run towards the door. So this one is kind of glitchy, I think. If you do these things in the wrong order, they start turning themselves off. So turn them on in left, right, back, front, and they won't turn off if you do them in that pattern. Then for this one, you just turn the braziers on to storm, then go for sun, tree, snake, beetle in this pattern like this. And this is just solving the puzzles that are involved in the test of aptitude. And then the portal turns on. Then you go back to Shouty Guy. He tells you how great you are. And you can put on your Boots of the Comet again. Actually, you could have in the puzzle room. It doesn't matter where you go here, just as long as you turn either right or left, and then run along the passageways up to Krokopatra. And the door will open as you go through. Best to run at an angle there, or else you might run into one of these guys walking by. And equip your good boots, and right into the battle. So, if you want to farm this effectively, as in get double the drops, what you do is you destroy Krokopatra first, and not the minion. Then you wait one turn and destroy the minion right after. If you do that, then Krokopatra will respawn after the battle, and you can defeat her again without doing the dungeon again. You sadly cannot do this an infinite number of times. It's just once per dungeon, so you get 2 Krokopatras per dungeon. And if you do it like that, then you get double the drops and half the work, which is nice. And that's the waiting one turn. And now you can destroy the minion as well. So Krokopatra ends up dropping these Exalted duels kind of often. I think about a quarter of the time, 1 in 4 times you defeat her, it'll drop. So you get about half a dungeon per, half a duel per dungeon. So it's not terrible, not a terrible drop, right? Didn't get it there, but you can see Krokopatra's back, so we can try again. And I guess while I'm waiting for my invincibility to wear off, go get the parchment. Alright. So basically for this battle you need a 1-hit spell that will wipe out the boss, and just some other spell to dispatch the minion. And if you want the same deck for the whole dungeon, which I highly recommend, then just have something that'll get rid of the others as well. Alright, didn't get it from that one either. Now, darn it. Currently there's a member benefit of 1 free second chance chest, but apparently it hasn't cooled down since the last time I did that, so don't get to do that one. However, if you are a member and that event is going on, might as well get one of them, since the first one's free. Now that's how you farm these little Exalted duels, and you can see that I do have one of them here. I also got a master duel, but those ones don't drop gear that's as good. And what the way those duels work is you just place them in your house. It has a little sigil like this one, and you can grab some other wizard friends and defeat the boss with them. As for the battle itself, that's a little bit more complicated than the level 20 dungeon. So the main boss, Krokopatra, has 30,000 health, and she's Storm, so she gets incoming boost to Myth and Life, and incoming resist to Storm. And she has these cheats. The main ones you have to worry about are the ones marked in red there, the why don't we direct all that potential, and the no one threatens my queen. One of those is actually in the Death Queen's thrall, so you don't actually have to worry about that if there aren't any death minions in the fight. So the first one she casts Beguile on the wizard with the most blades. That might be a problem if you're just about to attack with an AoE attack, which would then basically wipe out your team, which wouldn't be so good, because Beguile switches you to the enemy team, and the AoE would then target your buddy wizards. And the death minions one is the no one threatens my queen. The wizard with the most blades may randomly get a bad juju, which is minus 90% damage. So keep some Cleansed Charm treasure cards, or a Storm Wizard with Cleansed Charm, or whatever, and be prepared to eliminate that on the turn that your attacker is attacking. So just cast it, and that way, if the death one does bad juju your attacker, you'll cleanse charm it just in time for the attack. By the way, I took that cheat thing I took a picture of those cheats from the wiki page and then enhanced them with some color coding. And you can go to the wiki page, just search up Wizard101 Krokopatra Exalted, and it'll be the Krokopatra rank 14 that comes up. Another thing to keep in mind for the fight is that Krokopatra and her Storm minions have a couple things that remove blades. The Storm minions can cast Enfeeble, as well as, I think, Sirens, and Krokopatra herself can cast Sirens and Glowbug Swell. And all of those things will remove at least a couple blades from your attacking wizard. I tend to put some Spirit Dispels on Krokopatra, because that'll remove the possibility of your attacker being beguiled for the turn they're attacking. And these are treasure cards. Let's see. Spirit Dispel right here. However, if there are 2 death minions, then they will Clint's Charm both the life or myth and the death one. The death one's in the middle, so it'll be protected from the just one of those cheats. The boss also casts Empower occasionally, which is her only other death spell, and that one can also waste your death dispel. So, a couple things to keep in mind. You might not want to bother with that. She doesn't cast Beguile too often, so it's probably fine. And if you use a single attack target, a single attack on the boss, like say Judgment instead of Sandstorm, then even if you're beguiled that turn, it'll still go through. It'll still target the right person. It won't choose a random player on your team or anything. But if you cast Sandstorm and you were beguiled, then it would attack your entire team, save for you, because you were on the enemy team at that point. However, that's about it for today. Hopefully this video was useful, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.